The Druzhba pipeline in Russia ablaze again. Flamingo fiery flights, Russia on high alert. Russian air defense systems overwhelmed by Ukrainian attacks. Hello, my name is Henry Keane and this is Weekly Wrap-Up on UATV for you. Druzhba oil pipeline from Russia is on fire again. Massive flames are rising from the oil pipeline infrastructure right now as we speak. It is a key pumping station in Russia's Bryansk region. The attack hit the Unecha oil pumping station near the Russian city of Unecha. Obviously, according to commander of Ukrainian unmanned systems forces Robert Brovdi, Madya call sign, who shared details on his Telegram channel. He reported that the strike was carried out by drones of the 14th Regiment of the Unmanned Systems Forces. Brovdi also posted video footage showing a fire at the facility following the attack.
By the end of the day on 21st August, NPS at Unecha knocked out cold. Let's see them fix it in 48 hours. And one more thing, a bit more personal. Ruski Kaza, Russians go home. Robert Brovdi, commander of the Ukrainian unmanned forces, on Telegram.
Oil trade gives Russia money for the war in the first place, and targeting the vital vein of oil trade combined with oil refineries attacks leaves the Kremlin, obviously, with a choice to take petrol from civilians for the war or to trade oil and petrol to have money for the budget and be forced to cease the military operations without gas. The answer is obvious. Russians are taking gas from Russians, from their own civilians. On the night of August 18th, Ukrainian drones attacked the Nikolskoye oil pumping station on Russia's Tambov region, causing a massive fire. Following the strike, the Druzhba pipeline completely halted oil transportation. The Hungarian government reacted strongly, claiming the country was left without Russian oil and warning it might stop selling electricity to Ukraine.
Ukraine has once again attacked the oil pipeline leading to Hungary, resulting in the suspension of oil deliveries to our country. This latest attack on our energy security is outrageous and unacceptable. Russian Deputy Energy Minister Pavel Sorokin has just announced that Russian experts are working to restore the transformer station essential for the operation of the pipeline as quickly as possible, but they cannot yet say when deliveries will resume. Brussels and Kiev have been trying to drag Hungary into the war in Ukraine for 3.5 years, and the increasingly frequent Ukrainian attacks against our energy security are also aimed at this. Peter Szijjártó, Hungarian foreign minister, on Facebook.
However, the European Commission, according to the sources of the RBC Ukraine publication, stated that the damage to the Nikolskoye station had no impact on oil supplies to Slovakia and Hungary, dismissing Budapest's claims. Russian air raid sirens sounded for the first time over new threat from Ukraine. The mysterious Flamingo missile, with long range and surprising capabilities, it's already shaking up the conflict. What's next? Stay tuned for the full story. For the first time in Russia, an air raid siren was triggered due to the threat of a new Ukrainian cruise missile, FP5, nicknamed Flamingo. On the evening of August 20th, this information was shared by the Russian Telegram channel LPR, which specializes in reporting air threats. This time the alert was for the Rostov region. On the same day, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed the successful testing of the missile and called it the most successful so far weapon in the entire Ukrainian armed forces arsenal.
There were successful tests of this missile. So far, it is the most successful missile we have. It can fly 3,000 kilometers, which is important. I believe we can't say much about it until we have the capability to deploy hundreds of these missiles. By December, we will have more of them, and by the end of December or January-February, mass production should begin. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, speaking to journalists.
The FP5 cruise missile is a product of the Ukrainian company Firepoint, founded in 2021. The company has already gained attention for developing the FP1 strike drones, which regularly attack deep targets inside Russia. Early prototypes of the FP5 missile had a pink color due to a factory defect, which is how the missile obviously got its nickname, Flamingo. According to the Firepoint director, Irina Terech, the company currently produces one missile per day. However, by October 2025, the plan to increase production to 7 missiles daily, and by late 2025 to early 26, full-scale mass production is expected.
The maximum range is 3,000 kilometers confirmed, with an accuracy of 14 meters to target on this distance. The maximum speed is 900 kilometers per hour. The cruise speed can vary, and this I will not disclose. And the payload capacity is, in the moment, 1,150 kilograms. It was 1,000 in the very beginning, but then we found a spot how to enlarge it a little bit. And the overall MTOW of the missile is 6 tons. It's been launched with a solid rocket propellant and then goes with the turbojet engine of our own production, as well as a solid rocket booster production is also our own production.
The Ukrainian military portal Defense Express reviewed footage from the missile factory and discovered interesting details about the Flamingo. The missile's body is made from fiberglass using a unique process that makes it both extremely durable and difficult to detect by enemy sensors. It also features a satellite navigation system mounted on the engine, allowing it to avoid disruption from electronic warfare means. Its warhead can penetrate up to 2 meters of concrete, making the Flamingo a serious threat even to fortified targets. Obviously, such news about the Flamingo missile caused quite a stir in Russia. Russian sources close to the Ministry of Defense claimed it represents a new threat to peaceful cities, they say, specifically mentioning Volgograd and Yelabuga locations where Shahed drones are produced. Russian military expert Anatoly Matveychuk acknowledged the missile's potential danger, but doubted Ukraine's ability to mass produce it. He also speculated that the missile could be used to deliver a dirty bomb.
It all depends on how many will appear on the battlefield. I believe Ukraine's current capacities do not allow for mass equipping the troops with these systems. This is indeed a very dangerous system with a range up to 3,000 kilometers. Additionally, it could carry a nuclear warhead. But since nuclear warheads do not exist, we do not rule out that it could deliver a dirty bomb. Anatoly Matveychuk, Russian military expert in an interview with Lenta.ru.
Some pro-Russian Telegram channels accused the United Kingdom of involvement in developing the FP5 missile, citing a presentation of a similar missile model by British company Millennium Group at the IDEX 2025 exhibition in the UAE.
Flamingo is not a technological breakthrough of the Ukrainian defense industry, but another element of the Western strategy to turn Ukraine into a tool for sabotage and terrorist warfare against Russia. From a Russian Telegram channel, Military Chronicle.
Russian air defense systems are already overwhelmed by numerous drone attacks, but some industrial facilities are defended only by small arms and machine guns, which are obviously ineffective even against slow drones, let alone fast-flying missiles. The Flamingo, capable of speeds around 900 kilometers an hour, presenting a completely different level of threat. For now, new air raid sirens continue sounding over Russian cities, and each one may now mean more than just a drone threat. Look deeper into reportage by my colleague Sasha Zaslavets for you, UATV News.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine today. Join us now.
Negotiations with Putin may take place in one of the European countries, Switzerland, Austria or in Turkey. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said at the meeting with journalists, Kyiv expects Moscow to demonstrate its readiness for the summit. There have been no such signals so far. On the contrary, the Kremlin is persistently looking for reasons to disrupt the meeting. Read more in our article.
The Kremlin has made it clear that the Russian dictator is not ready for talks with President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky. According to the Russian foreign minister, Putin suggested, quote, "Consider raising the level of the heads of delegations." How much exactly? Lavrov did not specify. However, he immediately warned that high-level talks require thorough preparation. How long this preparation will take is also unknown. Additionally, the Kremlin decided to reuse the fake claim about the alleged illegitimacy of the Ukrainian government. All this is aimed at delaying, or preferably completely derailing, direct negotiations to end Russia's war against Ukraine, and shifting the blame for the breakdown onto Kyiv or Europe.
Putin knows that in the last weeks he's been facing a crisis. He sensed the danger. The red alarm went off. He really wants to stop the war, but he needs to stop it in a way that looks like a victory. A Kremlin insider for the Washington Post.
Ukraine is ready for any format of talks with the Russian side, if it helps to end Russia's war against Ukraine, stressed Volodymyr Zelensky. We have taken a step forward. Now Moscow must show that it seeks peace, said the president of Ukraine. He believes the optimal result of a summit with Putin would be Russia agreeing to a ceasefire.
We are entering a bilateral format, then a trilateral format. I believe that without agreements in a bilateral format and some form of ceasefire, a trilateral format is almost impossible. The US should already be involved at the moment when the war ends, or at some point that will indicate the war is about to end. Otherwise, there will be no success. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, speaking to journalists.
Donald Trump said he is ready to join the talks after a bilateral meeting between Volodymyr Zelensky and the Russian dictator. According to the president, he wants to see what results their dialogue can bring.
I had a very successful meeting with President Zelensky, and now I thought it would be better if they met without me. Just to see, I want to see what goes on. You know, they had a hard relationship, very bad relationship. Donald Trump, President of the United States, from the CNN report.
The main thing that irritates Russia is the security guarantees for Ukraine that Kyiv's partners intend to provide. This involves dozens of coalition countries and the United States. Moscow fears it will lose the ability to continue ignoring any agreements. The Kremlin reacts especially nervously to plans to deploy multinational forces in Ukraine after a peace agreement or ceasefire is reached. The Russian Foreign Ministry has repeatedly voiced a categorical no on this matter. However, no one will give Moscow veto power. Meanwhile, Russia continues terrorizing Ukraine's peaceful population. On the night of August 21st, Russian forces launched 614 aerial attack weapons, ballistic and aeroballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and various types of drones across the country. Cities hit included Kyiv, Zaporizhia, Rivne, Lutsk, Lviv, and Mukachevo. The target of the attack in Zakarpattia was a large American company. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha emphasized that this is not the first time Russia has attacked an American enterprise in Ukraine. Reported by Victoria Chistukina, UATV News.
Well, that was it for your week. I'm Henry Keane. We are UATV, and that was Weekly Wrap-Up for you. Stay safe, stay tuned in, stay strong with Ukraine. Goodbye.